is only when we truly know and understand we have limited time on earth and we have no way of knowing when our time is up, that we will begin to live each day to the fullest, as if it were the only one we have. "20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. The purpose of life, after all, is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for a newer and richer experience. To those who stay put, the world is but an imaginary place. But to the movers, the makers, and the shakers, the world is all around, an endless invitation. So the only question left to ask yourself is, where should you go now?"
Hey, good morning, Freedom Makers. Yes, absolutely. Drop in the chat where you're calling in from or tuning in from today, and let me know how your Friday, your whole week has been. So today's topic is beyond the ABCs of entrepreneurship, and always trying to come up with a topic is always a fun game, right? But one of the things a lot of people do not talk about are the D's of entrepreneurship. And yes, we do get D's every now and then. So I was working on some content preparation earlier this week and popped up, and Ali asked me what my topic was. And I said, you know what, I'm going to talk about this. I had actually found a quote from Jim Rohn about discipline. And it made me think about it a little bit, of what discipline means and what stops us from being disciplined. And then I did a little bit more research on the word discipline. I thought it was really interesting, especially as an entrepreneur, why discipline is so difficult. But before we even get to discipline, because discipline is actually the solution not the solution, but one of the ways to fight through some other D's that we may be getting in our business. So that's what I'm going to talk about, is the D's of entrepreneurship. And so we're halfway through the year. And if you're like me, even if you're not like me, you should be reviewing your plan, your goals that you had for the year, at least the quarter, and seeing where you're at. And it might be really hard to admit this, but you might be feeling a little bit discouraged. But so that was the first D, is discouragement. And how do you fight through the discouragement? The thing is, Dale Carnegie says discouragement and failure are actually two of the surest stepping stones to success. So if you're feeling discouraged, you should actually celebrate that discouragement and use that to push you to the next limit. And why are you feeling discouragement? So I thought that was, that's how I interpret it anyway. I'm like, discouragement is actually a good thing. So if you're looking at your goals and you're not as far along as you are, why? If you're not looking at your goals and knowing what you still have left to accomplish, you need to. We're almost exactly halfway through the year. I think today might be that day. I'm not 100% sure. So do that this weekend and take a look at where you are in your goals. And if you're doing great, I want to celebrate you. And I think that that's amazing. And I'm going to guess that how you've gotten there is through discipline. But discipline is actually an interesting word. So I actually Googled it to find out the actual definition of it. Discipline, there's two definitions. It's the practice of making people obey rules or standards of behavior and punishing them when they do not. Okay, that's big. I'm thinking, wow, what entrepreneur wants to obey anything? Not a whole lot. And then punish? Yeah, I don't need punishment in order to be encouraged. So I thought that was an interesting way to look at discipline. Like we fight discipline, but look at great athletes. They have amazing discipline and they fight through that. So discipline is a quality of being able to behave and work in a controlled way, which involves obeying particular rules or standards. So I thought, okay, that actually makes more sense. I love standards. I don't like the word obeying, but having the discipline to fight through the other D that we might be facing. I know it's summer. It's a Friday summer, and I'm showing up here because I made a commitment to it, and because of my discipline. But it's distractions. It's summer. It's halfway through the year. I could be outside playing, but because I have discipline and I follow daily disciplines every single day to help me listen, I'm gonna be real. This week was tough for me. I definitely felt a little discouraged. I felt like I wasn't where I wanted to be. So when I have that discouragement, I find like there's a lot more distractions coming at me and have to use my discipline to fight those distractions. And what are those disciplines? Most definitely my daily disciplines, for sure. Jimmy talks a lot about the power list. You need to be true to yourself, though, and know what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And I love the power list, but I did take it a little bit further. You're gonna laugh, but I have one primary goal for me to accomplish that day. I do a bullet journal, and so the first thing I do is I always give gratitude, and I write this down. So I'll actually show you. I haven't finished my journal for this morning, and I know it's reversed. But so that's my daily disciplines. And here you've got my grateful and then my today priority focus. And so that's the one thing I have to accomplish today. And then I have a to-do list. And then I also talk about my why every day. I write down my why every single day, because if I don't know it today, I'm not going to accomplish anything and the distractions are going to come at me. I also write down my number one. So I have about 10 to 15. I have crossed off some and added some 10 to 15 annual goals that I write down. I write down my number one annual goal that I'm currently focused on. So I know that everything on my to-do list should help me reach that annual goal. And I do the same thing for my quarterly goal and my monthly goal. So if I move forward on my annual goal, chances are I will move forward on all of my other goals. So that's how I've kind of adjusted Jimmy's power list. I think the power list is great. It wasn't working for me. I needed to focus on one thing. And when I accomplished that, I could look further on my to-do list. So that's my discipline. And people say, well, I have a morning routine. Or morning or daily discipline or whatever it is. Do you? And I say, do you really? Because in our head, we may think we do, but if you don't write it out and follow it, how disciplined are you? Professional athletes, our Olympic athletes are amazing because they really have a plan. They look at that plan every single day and they follow it. I look at my plan every single day. I'm not saying I'm amazing, but I work to get there. And because I have that discipline, that's how it shows up. And yeah, it takes a lot. Some days it's way easier than others. In Jamaica, someone said to me, and taking compliments is really hard for me, but someone says, wow, you're really super consistent on your content online. Who does it for you? And I laughed. I said, well, I do. But if I didn't have the discipline to put that together, I don't do it all in one day. I set a couple of hours every single Sunday afternoon, and I sit down and I plan my week, when I'm going to post, and I make sure it gets scheduled. So that takes discipline. Yeah, I wish I could be doing something else. I could be watching a movie. I could be playing, whatever. But if I don't do it, I just feel off. And my journal, my bullet journal, if I don't fill that out, and if I don't start my day writing these things, it's almost 11 and I haven't finished writing out my why or my goals that I'm focused on for this quarter, I feel off. I just don't feel like it's moving. So in the comments, I'd like to know what your struggle is when it comes to distractions and discouragement, how you get over it, because Jim Rohn says, and I didn't actually write this out, but he says, discipline is the bridge. What exactly did he say? He said it is the bridge to, let me see if I can pull it up. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. So if you don't have the discipline, you're not going to get over that discouragement, and you're not going to get over the distractions. You're always going to find distractions. Someone did a really great reel the other day about distractions. She went to the refrigerator for something, and she thought it was really funny. Her phone was in the refrigerator because she was distracted, and then she was looking all over the place to take a picture of it, but she couldn't find her phone. That's a good example of how off track people can get when you're not focused on the goal. So focus on the goal. Remember that we have a challenge coming up next week, and you'll learn action steps actually that you can take on a daily basis to take your business to the next level. All the marketing, I don't want to say secrets, but definitely what many of us are doing to up our game. And what did Jimmy say? He said it's separation season, right? Just because it's summer doesn't mean it needs to be slow. And you'll learn the secrets to being more disciplined and showing up on a more consistent basis. So let's see if there's anything. Discipline is a skill for sure. Yeah. Thanks, Cindy. Is there anything specific that you would say that helps you be more disciplined? Is it your power list? What is it that you use to be more disciplined? Athletes definitely use a planner to plan out their workouts, and they know exactly what they're going to do. I use my planner. I use a planner. I use my bullet journal and my priorities for my goals each and every single day. So that's all I have for today. I hope that you got some value from this, and that you will avoid the distractions and create the discipline to have an amazing business. Have a great day. Thanks.